Good afternoon. I am Michael Colbruno. I want to introduce myself quickly. I am the president of the Oakland Port Commission, although I'm here today as an individual since the port doesn't get involved in political matters. But it's very important that with my background, I'm speaking today. And I also just want to say something as an aside of I'm really here independently. I've been appointed by 4 mayors to the Planning and the Port Commission. One of them is not Mayor Thao. I've been appointed by 4 previous mayors. So I'm really speaking here on what is right to do today as an individual. And that is, we talk of climate as an existential crisis in the world. And how does that matter locally here? Because when we talk about an existential crisis, one of the things people talk about in climate change is the disruption politically that it creates. It creates, beyond diasporas and other stuff and food shortages, it creates political uncertainty in the world. And businesses and communities need certainty when we're talking about climate. And in Oakland we have it, and at the Port of Oakland we have it because of a collaboration between the mayor and the city and the port. We are the leaders statewide and nationally on climate change. We have the first hydrogen trucking hub in all of North America that's here. We have groundbreaking carbon capture stuff that's happening. We have shore power. We are doing stuff, and none of this happens in a vacuum. It happens because there's leadership at the top. And the top in the city of Oakland is the mayor. The mayor appoints the commissioners. The mayor leads the charge of the city. I can tell you this administration, led by Sheng Thao, goes to the state capitol with us, provides us with lobbyists, provides us with staffing. We go to Congress. Record amount of money is coming to this city for us to be the leaders on zero emissions and climate goals right here, and it's because of Sheng Thao. So that's why I'm here today, and that's why the people gathered here today. And so with that, I am going to bring up, first of all, Bill Croninger, who is with Argent Materials, who are doing concrete and asphalt recycling right here in Oakland in this building, and are doing turning CO2 waste, not in this building I'm being told, but they are right here in Oakland doing carbon capture, and very exciting work because concrete, as you know, is one of the leading contributors to some of the environmental issues that we're having. So with that, I'm going to bring up Bill, who's right here.
Good morning, and thank you very much. I want to say that, we started here about a dozen years ago, and we are a very quickly advancing green, carbon neutral, emission-free business, but it wouldn't happen just about anywhere else but Oakland. And I have to say that, we came into business at a time where there was this climate around lived experience and BIPOC neighborhoods unfairly being polluted on, and it's really changed, given us an opportunity really to advance a much more of an emission-free green business. But again, it could not happen if it wasn't in Oakland. It could not happen without good leadership. And I have to say that when we first started, we had another mayor, and I will say that it matters who your leaders are. It matters the decisions that are coming from the top. And in fact, one of the things we noticed with Mayor Sheng Thao is that she didn't know us in the beginning, although she toured our facility long ago. It was really heartwarming and empowering to see that she waited to see how we operated and what we did before she actually came out and supported us. And then, without us even asking, again, she watched what we did, heard what we said, and checked for herself, and then supported us. And I want to say thank you to her for that. And that's a very rare thing in industry, that someone actually finds out on their own what's going on and then decides to support you or not support you. And I would recommend the same thing when it comes to supporting this mayor. Look for yourself. I can tell you we've done that in our neighborhood. We've seen paving happen all over our neighborhood, and I've been there over a dozen years. We're watching it happen in a way we haven't seen it. We've seen services come back in a way we haven't previously seen it. And so we feel very supported in a way that hasn't happened there before. And so I just want to say thank you to Mayor Thao, and we appreciate the support. Thank you.
So the beneficiaries are our communities. As many of you know, Oakland has environmental justice areas that have been adversely affected over the years. And the faith community has been leaders in really raising attention and to all the community leaders and decision makers to make sure that this is addressed. And very proud to say in West Oakland, carbon emissions are down 94%, which is historic. And this is because of work of people like Reverend Ken Chambers from Westside Missionary Baptist Church, who's also part of the Interfaith Council of Alameda County. So I'd like to bring him up to say a few words.
And thank you very much. To the mayor that has outstanding leadership in the city of Oakland, let me just first start off by saying West Oakland has been historical for contamination. We're so appreciative of the port's progress, of how they have moved under the leadership of the mayor, and even a little bit prior to this mayor coming in. But there's 3 freeways that intersect here in West Oakland. There's former shipbuilding industry in West Oakland. Why would we build a coal terminal? Let me just get directly here. 2016, Bishop Bob Jackson led a group of ministers that were offered money, $1 million a year for 66 years to support a coal terminal. Working with environmental, social justice organizations like No Coal in Oakland, we were able to get a unanimous vote to defeat that. And we're very proud of that. Now, here it is 10 years later, just about, they're trying to stir up again and bring a coal terminal to Oakland. The undercurrent of this recall that we're dealing with in Oakland is to get rid of our mayor, replace 4 or 5 city council members, and get a city attorney in office that would give payback on the coal company by not being able to ship coal and allow them to get out the way as the city attorney to ship coal out of Oakland. My kids have had asthma growing up. I've had cancer 4 times. Thank God I'm healed from that. And I refuse, as a resident of Oakland for almost 60 years, to allow a coal terminal to be built here. And I'm so proud of this mayor and her leadership. She's stood strong against that. She stood strong against the financial investments. And as president and founder of the Interfaith Council of Alameda County, 500 different organizations, we stand for social justice. We stand for environmental justice. As pastor of Westside Missionary Baptist Church, and to all the members and the newcomers into West Oakland that have paid $800,000 for housing on the frontage road, don't realize that their windowsill will be the first windowsill to receive coal dust, as the terminal will be proposed to be built right across from the freeway interchange. So again, I want to applaud Mayor Sheng Thao. Recalls are a waste of money. It divides the community, but the Interfaith Council stands for what this mayor represents. And I want to just encourage all of us to band together and make Oakland continue to grow and be environmentally sound city of Oakland, leading this country. Thank you.
One more person I want to introduce before we bring up the mayor, and that's Josh Santos, who is the CEO of NOYA, who's right across the street here. I think I have it right this time. And they're doing direct carbon capture. And the reason communities are thriving and are cleaner is because of the work that people like Josh Santos are doing in the world right now. And good leadership attracts good people to do the good work in Oakland. So I'd like to bring up Josh.
Thank you so much. About 10 years ago, I moved to the Bay with a dream to start a business that helped fight some of our planet's biggest problems. We looked at recycling, we looked at mass manufacturing, but ultimately, the biggest problem that we face as a society is our changing climate. It is the most urgent, impactful problem that is shared across all of humanity. 4 years ago, I quit my job at Harley-Davidson developing electric vehicles to start this business, and about a year and a half ago, we decided to move to Oakland. We moved to Oakland not just because of the fact that there were lots of wonderful spaces to build companies and lots of people who were motivated, but because there was strong leadership in place to support the needs of early stage startups like us. Mayor Thao and her office have been fantastic in giving us exactly the kind of support that early stage startups like us need. She's helped us find sites for some of our earliest demonstration facilities for our technology. She's helped us navigate the permitting requirements to actually get things built in the Bay Area. And she's written letters of support to enable us and our technology to be built and into the future. We need leaders like Mayor Thao in order to scale the climate technologies that are being built right here in Oakland at the speed that the climate crisis requires. Mayor Thao is the kind of leader that understands this, and for that, we thank her at NOYA, and we're really grateful to have her in office right now. Thank you, Mayor.
I do want to bring up one more person before we get to the mayor, and that's we have Margaret here from the No Coal in Oakland, who I've heard a lot from when in my role as a port commissioner. I know city officials have learned about, and they've done great work to keep our air clean, so I'd like to bring up Margaret.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for showing up. I'm speaking as a longtime activist with No Coal in Oakland, which is a grassroots group that has led the campaign to prevent a coal terminal from being built in Oakland and to keep coal out of Oakland. Our organization is not taking any positions on the elections, but many of us are very concerned about a possible regime change in Oakland that might undercut the support that we've historically had from city officials and even replace it with new energy to build something with coal. The biggest funder behind the recalling the mayor is a man named Philip Dreyfus, who's a partner at the global hedge fund Farallon Capital. Just this year, in 2024, his firm has invested $2 billion in 3 coal mines and a coal port in Australia. If the recall were to succeed, which I certainly hope not, personally, he will own many of the officials who now run Oakland, and coal may well be on their agenda, who will run Oakland, and coal may well be on their agenda. There are several routes to keeping coal out of Oakland. The city might succeed in terminating the lease on the property where the coal folks want to build their terminal. Oakland may win another court case that involves an attempt to get $1 billion out of our treasury. There could be successful settlement negotiations that lead to a no-coal settlement without any loopholes. And because of some recent scientific evidence, the city could enact a new ban on coal that would prevail in court. But any of these paths require a commitment to keep coal out of Oakland on the part of the city attorney, the city council members, and the mayor. We have had this support for years. But what would happen if these officials owe their position to funding from a source that's linked to $2 billion in coal investments? Could the coal developers decide to finance an Oakland coal terminal by themselves, or along with or replacing the forces that we've been contesting for years? We just need to keep coal money out of Oakland. Our group, the No Coal in Oakland, has mobilized and allied with communities, members, including the faith community, as Reverend Chambers spoke, organized labor, health professionals, businesses, and of course environmental groups. We're in an active coalition with 10 environmental justice organizations. And people not in these groups are also in support. When the Sierra Club did a survey a number of years ago, 75% of the respondents said keep coal out of Oakland. And the reasons are obvious. I don't need to go into it. As we know from what Reverend Chambers said, there's already a disparate impact of pollution on the health of West Oakland. And of course, the climate change. Coal is one of the biggest motivators of climate change. So No Coal in Oakland and all of us need the city to continue to prioritize the health of the residents and not the speculation of profits of the speculators.
Yes.
All right. The last thing I'm going to say is we've heard a lot the last few weeks about elections matter. And I'm going to make this real clear for everybody. If you care about clean air, clean water, and clean communities, then the most important thing you can do in this election is vote no on this recall, because the course has been set for a record amount of investment in this community. And that investment, and there's more coming, by the way, little teaser, that investment has happened and will continue to occur because of this woman. And you don't change horses in the middle of the stream when your horses get into your destination, and that is clean communities. There's no coal, clean air, clean water, environmental justice. With that, I want to bring up the person who needs to finish the job for our communities, Mayor Sheng Thao.
I just want to say thank you so much to community for showing up. We know that here in the city of Oakland, that when we talk about coal, that we stand together and we demand that our communities be healthy communities. And of course, the basic necessity to life is air. We also know that here in West Oakland, where we're standing, we know that it is our Black and brown children who have the highest rates of asthma due to pollution. This is the crossroads in regards to what we decide to do in regards to the recall. We either decide to allow for coal to buy the seats of elected officials, or we carry on with the strong legacy in the city of Oakland that we cannot be bought and that we're going to stay firm on stating no coal in Oakland. And this is why we're here today. I want to be very clear that, Ms. Margaret talked a little bit about who is running this whole recall. This whole recall is run by one executive hedge fund. That one executive hedge fund lives in Piedmont. That one executive hedge fund and his company has invested $2 billion. No, I did not make a mistake by saying billion. $2 billion just this year into coal across the whole world. Let's be reminded that Oakland is the last mile. Oakland is the last mile to transport coal out of the United States or into the United States. Let's be reminded that just because you don't live right next to the possible terminal of transportation of coal, the coal will fly in the air, the toxins will fly in the air, it'll be your kids, it'll be you. We know that coal is damaging. And so what are we going to say, Oakland? I know what we're going to say. We're going to say, hell no. Hell no to coal. And that is right, hell no to coal. We didn't allow coal to come through Oakland the last 8 years, and we're not about to start now. I want to also say that here in the city of Oakland, I see that Silicon Valley is the home of tech. We see San Francisco is leading in AI. Here in Oakland, we are leading in the green tech. In green tech, this is how we actually address our racial wealth disparity, because we are preparing our workforce, our community members, to take on these new jobs, these new clean jobs. I just want to applaud companies like Argent Materials, who saw that, yes, maybe what we were doing previously may not be the cleanest, and we're going to shift gears. Even if shifting gears means we have to dole out more money to change our machines, to change the way we're doing things, because we care. You see, Argent Materials has the values of Oakland. When you care about community, you do whatever it is to make sure that their health is at the forefront. And I just want to applaud the fact that you all are using green materials for all the materials that you are providing. And we are so honored to have you here in the city of Oakland leading that charge. And of course, leading that charge, we can't do it without our faith-based leaders. You heard directly from Reverend Chambers that not all faith-based leaders are made the same. Some could be bought, just like some elected officials could be bought. But again, we know our Oakland values and our Oakland roots, and that is that we stand here together saying no to coal, no to outside investors who are trying to buy our democracy, who are trying to buy our elected seats. And then, of course, we welcome the new companies who are at the forefront of figuring out how the world addresses climate change. And we welcome them because they are going to offer the good paying jobs for our constituency, while at the same time saving our planets. I am not shy when it comes to bringing these small businesses to whether it's the state, to whether it's the federal government, so that they can advocate for grants to ensure that their business and the great work that they're doing continues to move forward, and not only move forward, but to expand and to grow. Because if they succeed, we succeed here in the city of Oakland. If they succeed, the world, the planet succeeds, because we are better, because we are addressing climate change. And so with that being said, again, this recall, creating the instability, this is what the billionaire wants. create the instability, create the doom loop, scare people about how, and hide all the progress that we're making, whether it's cleaning our streets, keeping our people safe. In the city of Oakland, families tell me every day, we just want the basics. We want clean streets, we want affordable housing, and we want to feel safe. For the first time since 2019, Oakland is on track to losing less lives than ever since 2019. One life loss is one too many. I want to be clear about that. But for the first time since 2019, we're headed on track to have less than 100 homicides in the city of Oakland. That means 30% less families are going to be traumatized, are going to actually allow for that trauma to actually move from generation to generation. Here in the city of Oakland, we are healing through community. What we are doing here, it is working. Oakland is coming back, and with a vengeance, making sure we have jobs for our community, making sure we have affordable housing for our community, making sure that our air is clean, the basic necessity, and that is not too much to ask for. And so I am so proud to stand here with all the advocates who we would not be able to advocate for no coal in Oakland without the staunch advocacy. Because yes, we're not billionaires. We don't have limitless amounts of money to create a doom loop. But what we do have is our active progress. What we do have is each other. And so I say to Oakland, vote no on the recall. A no on the recall is a no to coal. A no on the recall is a no to coal. And I know that Oaklanders will stand by me in regards to that notion, because we know how bad coal is for all of our communities, for all of our kids. Thank you.
All right, I want to thank everybody for coming today, and remember, no on the recall if you want cleaner communities.